Melody here. You might know me as ApplePie Movement. In today's interview with Mindy Dawn, we discuss how she has become a visual activist for the LGBTQ community, fighting for equity in the state of Georgia. So grab a piece of pie. Come on, join our conversation.
And Dapper Mindy is such a great channel. I love your posting. It's so positive for the queer community and younger kids coming up. How was Dapper Mindy born?
The funny part about it was that my first Instagram name was Cowboy Mindy, C-O-W-B-O-I, Cowboy Mindy. When Megan and I first started dating, I was in my style was inspired by a country two-stepping bar called Hoedowns, and no longer there. And I always thought it was really funny that that one of the queer bars that I enjoyed the most played country music, which I like to refer to as the music of our oppressors. It's not really as much the case anymore. It's great to see some of the new outlaws of country. Like I love Casey Musgraves, who is out there and still willing to, like talks about kiss a girl if that's what you want, and she's just precious and upbeat. Dolly Parton, who has a brilliant following that spans all of the political spectrums and religious spectrums, and she loves her gays. Like, where was so Cowboy Mindy was the but back in those days I was much more on Facebook. Really only had the Instagram account because I wanted to follow my niece on Instagram. And then in 2014, I think it was, 2014, might have been 2015, I went to Austin to a panel that DapperQ was putting on. Anita Dulce Vita was leading a panel that included Leon Wu of Sharpshooting and Sonny Oram of Qwear fashion, and they spoke about queer style as visual activism, and like it was as if I just learned the word snow. It was like it blew my mind, and I remembered that I didn't even have a pass for South by Southwest, and they policed those events so fiercely. And my wife had a press pass, so she walked in, and then I walked shortly behind her, and they just looked at me, and I was just dressed in my regular daily Mindy dress, and which is typically going to be some sort of shirt, tie, vest, suit jacket, funky shoes, funky pants kind of combo. And they didn't stop me at the door because they thought that was on the panel. And I remember Sonny Oram looked at me and he said, "Okay, so when Anita asks, what is queer fashion? I want you to stand up." And I just laughed. Obviously, I did not. I was very flattered that was the conversation. And so I was walking around Austin, and I had a picture of me, and then I sent it to Anita, and Anita said, "What's your Instagram handle?" And I didn't know what my Instagram handle was because I didn't post anything. I was only on it to follow my niece, so I literally had to go to my niece's account, like something, because I didn't know how to use Instagram really at that point. Had to like something. I'm like, okay, I'm Cowboy Mindy. So I sent her. I'm like, I'm Cowboy Mindy, and I had like no posts yet. And soon after, as I started posting, I realized there is nothing about how I present anymore that still falls into that Cowboy Mindy space. And I just thought that Dapper is the thing that I'm striving toward, and hence Cowboy Mindy became Dapper Mindy.
And I love that term, visual activist, and it was Leon that came up with that term.
Actually, the terminology is I don't know where it is born of, but essentially visual activism is trying to address trying to challenge societal norms in the way that you visually manifest yourself. Trying to think of the most accurate way to say it. Sort of like you look at a Banksy painting on the side of the street, and you're like, that's really cool. You stop for a second and you look at it, and then you reflect on, what does that mean? And essentially, visual activism is really being that living art in this world and trying to be that living art that moves this world and changes people's foundational beliefs.
Everybody, thank you so much for joining us for another ApplePie Table Talk. We'll look forward to seeing you again. Thank you, Mindy, for being our guest. It was great getting to know you and spend some time together. We'll look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you, Melody. Had a great time.